Hey family, Tacc man, how's your spirit? Talk to me, tell me something good. Just trying to get things together. Man, I got good news for you guys. We put the workbook on Amazon yesterday. I've been up since yesterday. I just, elated, happy. So I'm not gonna stay on long tonight. So I gotta get me some rest at night. Uh what we had tonight is what makes you, what forces you to heal. Adversity forces you to face what's not working. It strips away excess. It strips away excuses and illusion. When things are comfortable, most people stay stuck in patterns that aren't serving them. Pain becomes the motivator that pushes to actually change. It also builds the skills and the resilience you need for the next level, the growth, the wisdom, the strength. Those don't come from ease, they're forged in struggle. Without going through it, you wouldn't have the capacity to handle or sustain the changes you're after. So, in a way, adversity isn't just a hurdle, it's a teacher that prepares you for the life you say you want. And as always, I'm going to give you some examples. Here's the rest of that list. Pick up from there. It kills complacency and lights a fire. If you ever know that nothing great happens in ease, it happens in chaos. It makes you want to do things. It teaches you who you really are when things get tough. You know, nothing lasts forever. Only the strong survive. It builds mental toughness you can't get any other way. It creates the contrast that makes success feel earned. It breaks old habits that were holding you back. It forces you to get creative and find new solutions. Okay, can you hear me now? You hear me better now? Okay, good. Um, it forces you to get creative and find new solutions. If you ever realized when your back was against the wall, it made you be a better hustler. It develops empathy so you can better help other people. When you have empathy, that means that you feel for others. A lot of people, they don't feel for others. You know, it's because they have their own way. But when you have empathy, yeah, you know, um, it's as if you could feel what they're feeling and understand what they're going through. Okay, 1 second, you guys. Let me see. Let me see. 1 second. I'll go here. 1 second, guys. One second. It strengthens your character like nothing else can. It turns your scars into sources of strength and wisdom. And the reason why it's not always necessary. Some people make positive changes purely from inspirations, not pain. And the people who do that, they're the most strong, you know, because they did what they were supposed to do because they know it was the right thing to do. Some gradually voluntarily grow. No, gradual voluntary growth can happen without hitting rock bottom. Some people get it early, some people get it late, some people never get it. Many learn and evolve through curiosity and self reflection alone. That's a very strong person. Very, very strong person. Um, Supportive environments often foster change more gently than harmful. Okay. Um, Internal motivation can drive transformation without external crisis. Reading, mentoring, or travel can spark major shifts peacefully. Some personality types respond better to encouragement than struggle. Like I'm a guy that I have to go through it. I have to see it. I'm a hands-on type guy, and it's easier for me to learn that way with hands-on. But yeah, it's a great thing when we can learn from watching others. That's one of the greatest experiences in the world when you're a person that can learn from watching others, and it's a blessing, and it's not many people that God gives that gift to. Pimping, all my joints is freezing up. I don't know what's going on, but it is what it is. Show must go on. Technological or social advances can force positive change without personal adversity. Your environment, things around you, uh, where you come from, and and the beautiful thing about it, right? Um, as you're going through these things, the lessons that you learn and you're learning, it's priceless. It's priceless. You know, um, a lot of times we don't want to go through our adversities, but we must. We must go through our adversities in order for us to make changes, in order for us to grow, in order for us to be prepared for what God has for us in the future. There's so many different things, so many different ways that we have to be and do. So many things we have to do, but the only way that we're going to do that is go through our adversities and understand that these things shape and mold us to who God wants us to be. Period. And these are the things we have to understand. Some have a spiritual or philosophical awakening sometimes happens in moments of peace. And the last but not least, preventative self-awareness can help you course correct before crisis. Let me say that again. Preventative self-awareness can help you course correct before crisis hits. And see, the beautiful thing about these kind of exercises and uh, um, ways of life that we choose, we must understand that we're going to have to go through certain things going through this life and this lifestyle. But the beautiful thing about it, if we go through it, we'll be able to put ourselves in a better position in life. You know, the way people view you will be different. The way you view yourself will be different. Excuse me. Like I told you, I had low self esteem as a kid. But when you heal and you gain your peace, it's a whole different vibe. It's a whole different feeling. It's a whole different way of living, a whole different lifestyle. Because you no longer look at life in the negative. You look at life in the positive, and you live your life that way. You don't live your life in a negative aspect. You live it in a positive. And this is what it's about, because when you start living in positive, now you can help others. You know, a lot of people are selfish, but you have to learn to be selfless. And this is a big part of life. You know, learning to do right, to be right, to heal, so that you can be a better person. Everything comes in time, and this is the things that a lot of people uh don't understand. You have to have patience, and with patience, everything comes. You just have to put the work in. You know, and just know that God will give you anything you want, but you have to put the work in. It's not going to be easy. It's an uphill battle, but it's a blessing. When you get to the top of that mountain, you're going to say, man, alhamdulillah, thank God for bringing me through whatever he brought me through to get to where I'm at now. And that's the blessing. That's the major blessing. You know, everybody's okay. And yourself, yeah. I I'm not gonna stay long tonight because I gotta get me some rest. And tomorrow I will be fresh with a brand new everything. But you guys have a wonderful night. Pimpin', I gotta get some sleep, man. I've been up since you left watching TV and all kind of shit. Hyped on that shit. So y'all have a blessed one. And I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Tacc man out. Get your spirit right.